Alright, so here's the deal. People always say that Fahrenheit is arbitrary, and I can totally get behind that. Fahrenheit is definitely arbitrary. I agree, 100%. But then, they try and go and say that Celsius isn't arbitrary. And it is. Let me tell you why. Celsius is based on the boiling and freezing point of water. And that's supposed to be like an absolute thing, not at all arbitrary. But why water? Yeah, it's like one of the most common compounds, and it's essential for human life, but it could have been any other compound that was most common on Earth, or essential for human life. Plus, the boiling and freezing points of water aren't even absolute. It has to be at a certain altitude. So at like 2 atmospheres of pressure, water does not freeze at 0 Celsius. It freezes at something else, because it's arbitrary. It's just made up. All of this is made up. It doesn't even matter. So if Celsius is just as arbitrary as Fahrenheit, then it really doesn't matter, right? It's like a toss-up. It doesn't matter which one of the 2 scales we use. No, wrong. Fahrenheit's better. Here's why. If it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside, it's like really hot, but it might actually get 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside. That's an actual temperature that happens in everyday life. 100 degrees Celsius, on the other hand, is like really, really freaking hot. Like, it'll never be 100 degrees Celsius outside in like normal human average everyday life. It's useless, so that means that the Celsius scale is crippled. You can only use like 0 to 40 to describe actual everyday life. Now let's talk about zeros. 0 degrees Fahrenheit is really, really cold. If someone says it's like negative degrees Fahrenheit outside, you know it's like real. 0 degrees Celsius, on the other hand, is like cold, but like it gets that cold in Arizona during the winter at night. So it's not like that cold. So if Celsius and Fahrenheit are both totally arbitrary, but Fahrenheit is more useful in everyday life, Fahrenheit. The obvious choice. Sure, maybe you should like take scientific measurements in Celsius. No, screw that. Take them in Kelvin. You don't need Celsius. You don't need it. It's useless. But none of this even matters because the most important thing is that everybody uses the same scale, which they don't. So it's already screwed up. We're done. We've lost from the beginning. It's over. Go home, people.
So yeah, that's just what I think about this particular topic, and I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a good day. I hope that it's not too hot outside right now where you are, but when you're measuring how hot it is, just like try and use Fahrenheit because it's a better scale, and if you do that, then your life will probably be better in lots of different ways. And so, yeah, I'll just see you guys later then.
You would never go outside and say, oh, it's about 25 degrees. How can I think of that in real numbers? Oh yeah, that's a quarter of the boiling point of water. Never happens. Nobody's ever thought that. Thanks for watching this kind of weird, nonsensical video. It's hot outside. It's like in the 90s. Fahrenheit. Marcus, I will see you tomorrow.